Okay, here's one I want to talk about, but it's a little bit tricky because it might seem almost a little bit like hoo-ha, as if it doesn't really apply. But for me, this one is so applicable, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's for me the most powerful insight that I've had, and I think it's the main crux of why I've even done this 21-day challenge, and I've now been able to word it in a way that is sensible. So I'm gonna try and be succinct about it and give it to you straight. Get you straight. So, I'm a quote-unquote philosophical type of person, and I use that word of quotes because I don't really study philosophy, but what it means is I'm confused. I have a tendency to become confused and existentialist, and have a lot of self-doubt about what's the point of anything, right? And that's something that is a lot less than I used to get, because I have a quite strong purpose now. And I stated in my episode 1 of this that creating a purpose for yourself is one of the best things you can do to have a satisfying experience where you feel energized and engaged. Because arguably purpose might not even exist, it might not even be real, it might be a genetically fabulous illusion, call it that. So if you can hack into that system and consciously, deliberately decide what your purpose is going to be, you can create a huge amount of momentum behind you and power behind you. So the medicine for not having a lot of self-doubt is trusting in yourself, that you got this and you don't need to look to others for permission and approval, but you have this. And a part of this is believing that there is no such thing as failure. Take action, because there's no such thing as failure. This is the golden key. I'm listening to Steve Jobs' autobiography, and that theme is something he's done in his own unapologetic and sometimes outrageous way often. They even gave this uncanny force of persuading and influencing people against their own will, even being aware of it, a name. Steve's reality distortion field, because it was so effective. So I've heard of this concept, there is no such thing as failure, before, from one of my favorite guys on YouTube, creator of the YouTube channel Fight Mediocrity. Couldn't recommend it highly enough. If you like self-development books, you get it makes them even more relatable, and uses and applicable too, and he uses illustrative animations framed by his own personal experience. So the crux with this idea is that you got this, and there's no such thing as failure. Every step along the way, whether it is like a complete washout, wipeout, rejection, is simply another step on the way to success. You're gonna get there. It's almost like being the master of reframing every event, good or bad, in a way that still helps you to achieve your central goal. Imagine if after every knockback, you can just dust yourself off and reevaluate, choose a new approach. You get to take those insights along with you. Now, here's where it gets epic. Self-doubt can be useful. You obviously shouldn't perform surgery on someone unless you know what you're doing. So, except in cases of radical cases, or where you have belief which is, unwarranted, just completely doesn't make any sense. Your level of belief in your purpose is what separates you from a force of nature and a force of neither here or there. Now, I think push your purpose as far as you can push it. Don't even aim low, aim really high, because you'd be surprised at what you can achieve. So Steve would twist and spin and turn every argument to make it his work for him. Now, I don't think his own personal burn of execution was the best method in many cases, but there is a huge lesson in there. Some of the girls I'm talking to, I could have given up on miles earlier, but instead I wrestled on. I noted that I'm not going to take this personal, nothing personal. With my eyes on testing and learning game, I'll see what I can learn from this. Feeling disadvantaged compared to someone else is lucky. You get the chance to develop a mental ability to distort reality twice as strongly, if not more, as that person, because you have to distort it to suit your own kaleidoscope of reality that much more. And we all have our own kaleidoscope of reality. What is reality? It's our belief, right? And it all starts with a central purpose. All of our beliefs can be honed with a central purpose. Steve was ousted from Apple. Now, he wasn't poor by any means, but he had to rebuild. He knew his purpose was to be at the intersection between technology and art, so he gravitated towards the auctioned Pixar company, which was owned by George Lucas, and made a new name for himself. There's a lesson here. With each failure, there's a chance to refine and rethink your ideas and goals and create new ones, and then hit it again. With this pattern, it makes it realistic, very realistic, to question whether there is even such thing as a failure. Does failure even exist, and whether it isn't just a phenomenon of giving up too early? Eliminate self-doubt, build your purpose, and don't worry about rejections, because there is no such thing as failure. In fact, rejections mean you're probably your own route to getting there pretty blooming quickly, because you're getting a lot of feedback. And that's it. 1 day left to go in this challenge. Done 5 approaches, 3 hours writing, avoided about half a dozen attempts by colleagues to eat junk food offerings, and meditated for 20 minutes. So for now, I'm still mean. I'm loving it. Peace out.